So good morning, aspirant. Once again, I am back with new topic and new energy. Yesterday there was too many things happened across the world and in the India also. So we are going to discuss all those major happenings across the India and the world. The first, obviously, basically the World India Food event happened in the Delhi. Second will be the Gaza plan, Donald Trump's 20 agenda plan, and third will be the India European Association countries free trade agreement is came into effect on the 1st of October 2025. Then the third will be the India once again become elected as an International Civil Aviation Organization member. Okay, so today we are going to discuss 3 to 4 topics which are related to the particularly economy also and other major things. Okay, this amendment has been done by me because I felt that instead of the even student also demanded instead of the focusing on one particular subject, we will daily focus on the one particular subject for the prelim mains perspective, 1 or 2 topics. And today is our day of economy, and rest of the things what we will do, we will focus on the major news that will going to help you in the prelims also and mains also. Okay, so let's start today's topic. This is our today's first topic, and Indian food sector as pillar of India's rising power. Okay, so this is the first topic. Why I am taking this topic? Because Indian World India Food event recently concluded in New Delhi, and if you see the weightage of this topic, you can, there was one question in 2025 in mains also, GS1, changing food habits of Indian society. See, this is generally they have mentioned in GS3 food processing industry. Today we are going to discuss food processing industry, but why I am mentioning here the particularly GS1, because UPSC had asked this question, how the changing food habits are changing in Indian society. Okay, so changing food habits, this was the GS1 2025 mains question. So let's begin. Even the GS3, there was the supply chain issue, supply chain question in GS3 paper. Okay, so this is our first topic, as I mentioned the reason. Now, World Food India event, this is the basic information about Indian food sector, Indian food processing sector, which provides around 2.4 million people employment directly and overall 5 million people indirectly. And if any question come on the food, you should draw the diagram of India and just mention the which area is famous for this area, meat industry, this area, processing industry on wheat and barley. Okay, here mango you can say, then fishery, fish processing. Okay, here also seaweed processing. So you should draw here also Alfonso mango, very famous mango. Okay, then the onion processing, then grape processing, cereal processing. Okay, so all these are the important important reasons where the food processing exactly happens. Okay, so this is India's map, and you should draw this map. I did this in our this 2025 main, so I'm just giving you idea how we can start. Now we are going to ask, what is the importance of food processing industry? The importance of food processing industry is, first, as I mentioned, this is 4 pillars of food processing: stability, net zero processing, the front food global food, and this is a, let me show you the food processing sector significance, economic significance. See, food processing industry contribute around 12% of overall manufacturing GDP. First is contribution in the GDP. Second one, employment generation. Third one is women empowerment. So even in empowerment, if you see two-third working population in working population of women, they are engaged in food processing industry. Then regional development. So all these are very important, and all these are the crucial significance of the food processing industry. Let me discuss the employment generation. As I mentioned, the 2 point. Then the next one, farmers income. The most important thing is even the Ashok Dalwai committee also mentioned the importance of farm. This how the farmers income can be increased by food processing industry. Okay, so this is our third important. Then export competitiveness. We are out of RCEP. Then we are out of particularly the free trade agreement with the USA. The reason is this: we want to protect our food processing and agriculture sector. Donald Trump deliberately imposed the tariff on India, 25% tariff on India. The reason was this: the reason was that they wanted to export their food processing dairy product to India, and our food processing industry is not that much strong, so India avoided. In India means swallow the pill of that 25% tariff. Okay, so but in India's food processing industry have that much export competitive. APEDA, MPEDA, all these are the means organizations formed for the export of food processing products. Okay, so these are the importance. Now infrastructure development, even the food processing contributes around 20, overall right now the 62 mega food parks are there. Nutritional foods, and most important one more, the food security. If we are producing the food, then it automatically assures the food security. This is also importance of the food security. This is also importance of the food processing industry. Okay, so this is overall structure of food processing industry. Then now I am going to discuss what exactly the government initiative related to the food processing industry. There are n number of initiatives government of India has taken in the last 1 and 2 decades to make Indian food processing industry more competitive at a global level. The first recent one is a mega food park scheme. Then particularly the increasing the Kisan credit card loan to the fishery farmers. Okay, then the Pradhan Mantri Matsya Sampada Yojana for the fisheries. Then Pradhan Mantri Krishi Vikas Yojana. All this provide the basic Pradhan Mantri Krishi Vikas Yojana. Okay, so all this provide base for the development of food processing industry. One by one, we are going to discuss the PLI. This is also one of the schemes. This is a 2025 mains question. This is a mains question. Export growth. Okay, APEDA special institutions are there. Then FDI allowed. FDI is provided to them. Means 100% FDI is allowed in the food processing. These are the initiatives taken by the government of India. Okay, remember mega food park, Pradhan Mantri Matsya Sampada Yojana, Pradhan Mantri Krishi Vikas Yojana, then Pradhan Mantri, particularly the agriculture infrastructure development fund, then warehousing, storage facility. So all these are the schemes related to the promotion of the particular food processing industry. Okay, now these are the issues. Then what are the challenges? As I discussed the challenges, let me take the tea today. Anyhow, I'm getting the tea. So tell me, what are the challenges? First, obviously, the breakage of the infrastructure. Actually, how much we are producing? We are the largest producer of cereals. We are the largest producer of milk. But who is dominating the market? Australia. Who is dominating the global market? USA. Why? Because we are not processing that food. We are not processing the raw material. This is the very fundamental challenge faced by the food processing industry. The next one is how many in India have MSMEs? India's most of the manufacturing sector consists of the MSMEs, and that too around, I would say 99% are micro units. So how they can process? They just provide the inputs, but they are not processing at that higher level. So this is the third one, farm scale. Have you heard the term about the intensive agriculture and substantive agriculture? Yes. So intensive agriculture, which generally along with the poultry and other food processing, the things, fruits, vegetables, spices, we are the largest producer of spices. But how many spices are producing? We are the largest producer of vegetables, fruits. But are we processing on them? No. This is also one challenge. Then the farmer, small size of farm, that led to the farmers are dependent on intermediaries. Okay, no market value, price stability, and the infrastructure development. Even the infrastructure development is very less compared to the USA, America and Australia. Okay, these are the challenges faced by the Indian food processing industry. As a post-harvest losses, fragmented supply chain, the credit investment facility. Just think about. Let's discuss about the supply chain fragmentation. From farm to plate, means plate to or from farm to plate, it is very difficult. We are the largest producer, but still we have the poverty. The reason is this weak supply chain. Just think your body is not able to support your brain a particular blood, means your body is not able to support your feet. Then are you able to stand on your own feet? No. So this is because your means particularly the waste is weak, that is supply chain from farm to the plate. This is very biggest issue. Okay, so you guys should remember this. Now what we can do, there are Niti Ayog reports, there are even the Ashok Dalwai committee, then other the Harish Damodaran, he used to write very good things on particularly the food processing industry. So what are the way forward? Provide them support, credit support through the priority sector lending. Even the MSME are included in the priority sector lending. Even the you can mention the Kisan credit card. Kisan credit card provide the support to the fishery farmers, poultry farmers, and they can process. Small unit coming together, forming the cluster, agriculture cluster. Then farm produce companies, FPCs, that can be act as a processing unit. And that's why government in the 2024-25 budget, government deliberately acted on this and promoted the 13,000. Mark this number, 13,000 FPOs production. Government is supporting this many production. Okay. The next one is strengthen the linkage, promotion of the export competitiveness. The small unit micro support micro units with finance and technology. Okay. So these are the unit supported by the particularly, and these are the way forward which can help which can help India to make India's food processing industry strong. Do remember that India have the advantage in millet, vegetable, fruits, spices. We should process because these are the areas which can contribute for India's overall development, economic development, social development, regional development. Okay, if you see 54% of India's population are engaged in agriculture, and if India is the largest producer of milk, vegetables, and if we process on them, we can be act as a manufacturer. And just imagine our manufacturing sector is not contributing as the service sector, as the China's manufacturing sector. Okay, so these are the way forward which can help to boost India's overall food processing sector. Okay, so if you have any question, you can ask me, or else I am going to move forward to our next topic. And you see, this topic is important, particularly for the GS1 also, GS2 also. Okay. Now, this is conclusion. Food processing industry GS1. There was direct question in 2020 prelims on the Kisan credit card support. Then Mega Food Park. There was a question. Then FPO. What are the FPO in 2023? UPSC asked the MSME. Okay. UPSC asked the MSME sector and contribution, priority sector lending, provide the credit, provide the basic facility, provide the infrastructure, make them aware about the schemes and everything. This will boost the India's overall food processing industry. Now, this is the question. You can solve this question. Let me. Our next topic is very interesting. This topic is interesting because on 24th of September, government, means cabinet, approved the particular 4 pillars of India's maritime vision. Maritime security, maritime vision, and how the maritime sector contribute to India's economic development. Now we are going to discuss our, that is, blue economy. Blue economy. UPSC had asked the question earlier in the prelims itself, what is blue carbon in 2020. Then carbon carrying capacity, even the capture CCG. Okay, capture, control and storage, SCCS. Okay, this is a PYQ. So blue economy becomes important topic for us because it's not about the port, it's about shipping, it's about inter-river, means interstate river or river waterways. All this include under the maritime. Okay, now transformation of India's ports into the world-class maritime hub. Now this is in the news as I discussed. What exactly shipbuilding and ship or maritime sector components? Now we are going to discuss what exactly the component. This is the statistics you should remember. 95% by volume, okay, 70% by value, then around 10% employment, dredging. Recently government of India passed the Indian Port Act. Overall 200 plus port, 13 major port. This is the capacity, and 7,000 plus coastal border. Okay, marine means particularly the sea border. This is advantage, and this is also one of the potential of India's maritime sector. We have the more than the 12, means more than 200 overall ports that can be act as a channel for the economic, social and political development. Now you can go through the major ports as whole thing I have mentioned. Now what exactly the components of maritime shipbuilding and ship repairing? This is also very big industry, particularly the repairing and everything. It provides the employment around 2% of India's population. You should remember this. Then ports, major and minor, then shipping companies and public sector, and inland water transport authority, then logistic maritime infrastructure, cold chain development, the maritime training. If you see, let me show you how exactly the, and this is the importance of blue economy directly taken from the World Bank group. Okay, this is credit to the World Bank group. Now this is maritime, renewable energy, tourism, climate change, waste management. Before that, I just want to tell you why this blue economy is important. Port question 2024. Question on the port 2023. There was 2 questions in 2023. UPSC asked on the ports. Okay, and ports I did not mean only seaports. Okay, we have 3 kinds of ports: land port, seaport and airport. This was 2024 Greenfield prelims question. Seaport, there was ancient seaport in 2023, and there was one modern seaport, which is the largest port, which is the largest cargo port, which is a private port. Okay, same year, 2 questions in 2023. Then land port, till now UPSC did not ask any question, but there is a potential chances UPSC would ask. UPSC had asked this land port in other exams, but not in the CSE. Okay, so this becomes very important for us to study this topic. Now what exactly the importance of blue economy and overall the land shipping port? First is role of development, then the particularly maritime, energy security, climate change, carbon sequestration, providing the employment generation, providing the alternative ways of employment. All these are the significance and importance of our blue economy. Okay, I hope you are getting point. Renewable energy generation, wind energy. Recently, if you see in renewable energy, there was a news: Maharashtra takeovers Tamil Nadu and becomes 3rd highest renewable energy producing state. Tamil Nadu once upon the time was the largest top renewable energy producing state, but now Tamil Nadu slipped to the 4th position, not Rajasthan, because of solar energy, because of the wind energy. Rajasthan, Gujarat are the top 2 states, and the Maharashtra is now become the 3rd state. Okay, you should remember this factual information because in 2022 UPSC asked on this factual information only. Okay, so fishery sector, how fishery sector, this particular the shipbuilding. If you see, India have the 2nd largest fishery market in world. Okay, second largest fishery market. Do remember this. Then climate change. Oceans are natural sites. Okay, natural site for the production, natural sites of the carbon sequestration. You should remember this. Then waste management. If you see, 80% of the plastic goes to the oceans, and I have particularly focused on the how the port led, because in 2020, I think 2015, there was one question on what is port led development and how it is socio-economic development and what are the challenges. So this is the same thing. Trade facilitation, 95% trade passes through 95% trade passes through our sea route. You should remember, once upon a time, our honorable Prime Minister said that we need very 50 paisa for the transportation by seaport, and still ocean routes and sea routes are paramount important. With cheap price they can transport. Okay, they can transport the goods. That's why our volume, 95% by volume trade goes through the seaports. Okay, that's why government of India recently enacted the Indian Port Act. Remember this. And 2025 CDS, there was one question on what is soft port. And if you remember, recently the ministry, our honorable Prime Minister inaugurated the Vizim port in Kerala. You should have the basic, you should have this kind of basic idea. Now, trade facilitation, employment generation, regional development. If you see, 9 India's coastal state, all they are more prosperous than the landlocked state. This is a fact, and the reason is connectivity to the global world and connectivity through via port and seaport. Okay. This 9 states, okay, state and UTs you can consider, but means state and UTs, all these are economically very prosperous comparatively to the landlocked state. The reason is this only, because the reason is not this only, but one of the major factor: international trade, international connectivity, exposure to the global world. Even if you see, in 10th century, Arab sellers, they used to do trade with Indian coastal state of Cochin. Okay, and when Vasco da Gama, Europeans came through port only. This is the importance of this port-led development. Now, let me discuss the another importance of export competitiveness, energy security, food security, FDI, and our overall growth. Okay, so our 80% of India's crude oil passes through port development. Okay, passes through the sea route, and now India is focusing on the partner Indo-Pacific. Why India want a free and open Indo-Pacific? The reason is only because this pathway, this track is become India's rising superpower, strategic importance for India. Even recently, the Andaman Nicobar development, that Greater Andaman Nicobar development project, that is helping India to be a power in the Indian Ocean region. Okay, you should remember this. Even the IMAC initiative, even not India, means India is not developing a port, their own port, but India is developing outport also. Outport, the Chabahar port, the foreign country port. Why India want? Because of this reason. 80% of India's crude oil trade passes through the Persian Gulf and Gulf of Oman. So this becomes important for India to secure these routes. This is the importance of port for India's economic, social, political, foreign policy, Asian giant development. India is emerging as a Asian giant because of its heavy coastline. And if you see, most of the civilizations, they grown and growing, emerging because of port led, their sharing border with the coastal areas. Okay, so you should remember this. And even the rising USA, China, Russia, Why they are superpowers? The reason is they share the USA share the very huge coastal line with global ocean. They connect with globe. Port connect your country, your region, individual to the globe. This is the overall importance of ports. But despite this importance, in India's port system, there are many issues. Many issues, I would say, even we have the maritime vision, we have the means many schemes, we have the institutional setup, but still there are issues, and these issues I am going to discuss. First one is a low share in global shipbuilding. See, this is India and this is China. That's why China is world's second largest economy. You should remember this. This is the particularly the 40%. Now, high logistic cost. Even the World Bank also mentioned its logistic performance index that India's high logistic cost is 20% of GDP. See, we are spending 1% of GDP on education and health, and logistic cost we are spending on this is 13%. Can you imagine the dichotomy, the contradiction between the these two things? Okay, so this is also one of the challenge. Now, infrastructure gaps. This infrastructure gap itself leads to the logistic challenge because minor ports are maintained by some, even interagency coordination is lacking. This is also one of the issue. Now, tell me the technological deficit. Our dredging is nothing but cleaning and managing the things in port area. Okay, so just think about our dredging and everything. Are they that much competent? Are they that much handling the cargoes? No, even turnover time is far. It is 48 hours. It has reduced in recent time, but let me tell you, this was the turnover time. This means that if any cargo ship reaches to the particular port, how much time it will take to reload and the changing the path. This takes 48 hours in India. And even in India, ports are mostly managed by limited port. Visakhapatnam port and the Kandla port, Mumbai port. Innor port, Chennai port, all these ports are mostly are having the multiple layer of organization. Port Trust Authority is there, the Ministry of Shipbuilding, Shipping and Maritime Security is there. So overlap is there, and this lack coordination among the agencies, among the executing authorities. Even the maritime police is there. This is a port area. This port area is something happen that is managed by the central government. Okay, but outside this only, it is managed by state government. This is related to major ports. Now tell me, what would happen? There will be the collapse of system. There will be the lack of coordination, and this lack of coordination is one of the major challenge. Okay, now this is the way forward. Let me show you the another infrastructure gap: environmental safety. As I told you, safety measures and issues, they are not that much our administrators and our mostly the policymakers, they did not give that much attention to the port led emissions. Okay, emissions in the port area, the generation of the plastic, everything is not gain that much importance. Okay, so this is the one of the environmental safety issues. Now what we can do, this thing, Sagarmala, Bharat Gati Shakti, shipbuilding financial assistance scheme. These schemes are helping government of India to make one Chinalization. So we have the maritime vision policy 2013, the India's maritime vision, Amrit Kal vision of 2047. All this they contribute for overall port-led development. Particularly the Sagarmala project, connect the interlinking of river project. I forgot to tell you that in this, but maritime security and the overall the shipbuilding, this interlinking of river also come. Okay, this is also important. Now these many projects are allowed: Sagarmala project, Bharatmala Gati Shakti, shipbuilding and financial assistance scheme. Then major port authorities act 2021, then ports act replace the archaic Indian Ports Act 1908, rationalizes the governance digitalization. This becomes important, and this plays very crucial role for the managing and maintaining the port of India. Okay, ports of India. These ports are the channels, nodes of development. I would say our Prime Minister said that nodes of development. Just think about one particular port is there, and they are means engaged with declare as a major port. It will provide the employment, it will provide the trade channels, it will provide the socialization, it will provide the economic growth. So all these are the importance and all these are the challenges, and this policy, national logistic policy, provide the committee on national maritime development in NMPT. So these are the way forward where which can help and are helping to boost the India's maritime port system. Do remember, UPSC will ask the question on the overall port system. With reference to the Ports Act 2025, the question is there. You can solve the answer. Now the maritime security, UPSC had asked the question in GS3 earlier in 2015 or 16 on the port-led development. What is port-led development? And you should remember the what is the port-led development and overall. Now these are the two topics. Now I am going to discuss with you guys very important a recent development. That recent development is of yesterday's US's president inaugurated the means inaugurate, I would say ki make it publicly, the Gaza redevelopment plan. Why Gaza redevelopment plan? Today is 1st October 2025 and 7th October is second anniversary of Israel Gaza conflict. Okay, so Israel Gaza conflict. This is a 20-point agenda, and this is for GS what we can study. If you see in 2023 question, prelims question, there was question on Abraham Accord, and which was signed between which country. This was the they asked in the assertion reasoning based question ki this Abraham Accord signed between the which two countries, and they led to the peaceful. And this is not only just as not only just 20-point Gaza redevelopment plan. This is a most important, most significant development in the Israel-Gaza conflict since 1990 Oslo Accord. Okay, since 1993 Oslo Accord. UPSC had asked the question on this. What is this? We are going to discuss what is this accord exactly. Okay, here let me show you. What is it? What are the provisions and how India is reacting? Because any international development, there should be the India's way. Okay, so basically in simple 4 to 5 words, I will explain. Gaza is fully destroyed. Gaza is fully destroyed. So there is attempt of superpowers to at least humanity. People are dying because of starvation. People are dying because of the containment of Israel's attack. Even the Israel Defense Forces, IDF, they are bombarding on one side and they are starving within because Israel is not letting the aid enter into the Gaza Strip. Okay, so this is why international community now at least they have the taken. And see, once again I am repeating, this plan is yet to accept by Hamas. Okay, India supported this, Israel supported this, even 8 to 9 Arab countries supported this, and even the UK, France, they supported it. But Hamas has to at least take a stand on this. Okay, so what is this? First and foremost out of all this plan is international peace body, international Gaza board. And this board personally, first is international stability force. This will be the international force in, according to reports, Indonesia. This force will act as a civil, means it acts as a civil police there to maintain the buffer zone between the Israel and Gaza and to maintain the peace stability, because their first demand is to disarm the Hamas. Hamas means second infida 2006 post 2001 and 2 they governed the Gaza Strip. Hamas. Okay, this is IS. Then peace committee led by the Arab countries and Western countries to make economic development and to just redevelop the Gaza. Okay, so this is the important, far most important provision. There are 20 provisions. First is security, redevelopment. Third, there will be the gradual transformation of the Palestinian state. That is last resort. Even the Benjamin Netanyahu also did not accept, they recognize the, means that did not say anything about the Palestinian state. But if this is going to happen, most important development is this is a, at least bring the peace. Immediate ceasefire is there, exchange of hostages is there, then the disarming the Hamas. Even the Hamas, once disarmed, their fighters can be adopted in the society peaceful way. Even they want to the, means the cross the, there will be the cross the country, there will be the free and safe passage given to them. These are the very comprehensive. It is according to sources, it's been the 8 to 9 months Donald Trump team is working on this plan. This plan looks more comprehensive. This plan provides the genuine solution. That's why the Donald Trump said that this is become the movement of civilization, one of the important movement of civilization. This is a plan and plans provisions. Mostly provisions the government, economic government, the how economic redevelopment will be happen, and overall the things. Now, what are the lacunas of this plan? First and foremost, Tony Blair, the former UK Prime Minister, he is become the in charge of the executive committee. Donald Trump will be the head of the peace committee, but peace board, that and the other forces will be contributed. This is the bone of contention because the Muslim world and the Arab world sees means Tony Blair is not that much trustworthy person because of earlier issues and the means historical challenges. He brings the challenges. Second thing, there is no talks about the Palestinian state. Okay, Palestinian statehood. There is gradual, but even the Benjamin Netanyahu said that we are not going to talk about the particularly Palestinian state. Third one is Hamas yet to accept. Even the Donald Trump in the last means at the last said that even Hamas don't accept this, there will be the complete shutdown. There will be the issue, and there will be the very big issue will happen arise. So these 3 points are there. Now this is important for the prelims perspective, but for us, what is important? More important is our Indian stand. What is India's stand? India openly, India's Prime Minister openly supported this plan. As we have the policy of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, we follow the policy of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, and we support any peaceful resolution of any dispute. And India has wholeheartedly supported. But there is another side of this plan is those 8 to 9 Arab countries. Okay, 8 to 9 10 Arab countries, Muslim countries, I would say, not Arab countries, Muslim countries. One country was there, that is Pakistan. And according to the Donald Trump team statement, Pakistan was fully involved in this, preparing this draft. And this becomes the important point for us. Why? Because the rising ties between the Pakistan and USA. It shows how the relationship between the Pakistan and USA is going in harmony. This becomes the triggering point. Even India did not officially mention about the Pakistan, but still India is studying how Pakistan involved in this issue. Pakistan always since 1950s raised the issues about the Palestinian rights and Jammu and Kashmir rights, and this becomes the critical point for India to take a stand. India though supported, but India explicitly, not explicitly, implicitly said that the involvement of all the majors and India support the Indonesian, and India committed even before this plan, India was supporting 5 million aid to the Gaza UN Gaza Committee. Okay, so this is the UN Gaza Committee. In India supported. India even committed that we will provide you the financial support. Okay, so these are the overall development plan. Let's see how it will go and how overall the things will go and how the things will happen. But this is one of the dimension where India should take care of the certain things, because we have 9 million diaspora then our crude oil security, okay, then our West Asia policy and India's perennial support to the Palestinian state. Okay, so this is the very important, this becomes very crucial for India to protect India's core national interest. Ultimately, if anything happen in West Asia, if West Asia is the most fragile region since 1950s, still that region is fragile, but this plan looks promising. It is depend on the implementation. Okay, by this notes, I am going to move forward to the next article. This next article talks about the India's re-election to the ICAO, strengthening the global aviation leadership. This is the ICAO, International Civil Aviation Organization. The International Civil Organization, UPSC had asked the question on earlier, particularly earlier, on this any organization in UP. First was International Grain Council question 2024, International Toilet Organization, then International Trade Organization. Even in 2025, there was question on World Bank Group. So this becomes important for us to study this for the prelims perspective and for the mains perspective. How this is important for the mains perspective? It shows India's commitment for the peace and safety of the civil aviation sector. Now I am going to discuss why this is in the news. I have discussed the India become the part of council. This is the mandate. Most important, India is founding member of International Civil Aviation Organization because of the British participation. Okay, and this particular organization is, let me take this particular organization is UN special body. Okay, UN special body. And India, what we have to remember? We have to remember the only certain things. What we have to remember? We have to remember the what exactly these things, this organization ICAO formed in 1944. India is founding member. India is now member of the council. Okay, and this, what is the major function of ICAO? The major function of ICAO is of international airport safety, means flight safety and protocol development. Okay, protocol development. So all these are the developments related to the ICAO. Okay, so do study about this, mention this particular in the your in your answer, and ICAO becomes an important organization on this, means important organization related to this thing. Okay, so this is overall we have discussed around 4 topics. Okay, and that too I want to like increase up for prelims perspective. We will, once the prelims will approach, we will more focus on the prelims dimension, mains dimension, and the ones we will follow the one study approach. Okay, in our first topic was the food processing industry. If you see the Gucci question, if you see, then second was the our blue economy. Okay, then third one was the particularly the Gaza plan. Okay, and fourth one was the India's membership in the International Civil Aviation Organization. In this, what you have to remember, you have to more focus on particularly the last 2 things, prelims perspective, first 2 things for the mains perspective, because it has become very crucial and it is important for us to focus on the prelims also and mains also. Both dimensions are important. Okay, and as I discussed the questions, tomorrow onwards what I will do, I will try to add the prelims question which had been asked earlier. This will help us to make our analysis more strong. By these notes, I am going to end. Before that, I am going to end our today's discussion. But before that, I just want, we have the Sankalp Sarthi mentorship programming. As I always mention, this mentorship programming becomes crucial for overall your one study approach development of clearing the prelims, mains, and interview. In this, we have separate verticals. One-to-one mentorship sessions are there. What problem you are facing? There will be the daily setting of the target. There will be the daily mentioning of the target. Okay, so these are the things. Then, and if anyone want to give this particular means anyone want to give serious attempt of 2026, they do join this Sankalp Sarthi mains Sankalp Sarthi mentorship program. By these notes, I will end my today's discussion. Do refer the particular topics, and you will get the PPT of this particular topics in the given link below. Okay, Jai Hind.